Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be testing out the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I'm super excited to try this since I've been a huge fan of Jaclyn's for years. I've been watching her videos for at least over 5 years, I want to say, like forever. She was the first YouTuber I ever discovered, and I hesitated on buying this for a while, but then a Morphe store opened up near me, so I was able to swatch them in person, and everything looked so beautiful that I was sold and had to buy it. And this was my first time trying out the palette, and this is the eye look that I came up with. It's a little bit more dramatic for me for every day, but nothing too crazy. So if you want to see how I got this eye look right here and also see my kind of first impression and review of this palette, then please keep watching. So to start, I'm going to set my entire lid, and I think I'm going to use this first shade here because it looks slightly less shimmery than this one, but I don't know. Hopefully this, oops, and I already scratched one. Great, okay, cool. So I'm going to set using my large, this is the Sigma E40, even though the number is totally worn off. And I'm just going to take this tan shade here just to kind of set my eyeshadow primer, and like I said, I'm using MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And that was a great just all over setting color. It's not too shimmery, but I like a shimmery lid anyway, so it doesn't bother me. And now I'm going to go in with a transition shade, and I'm trying to decide which one to use. I think I'll use this one here, which looks like it's a little bit more pinky undertoned than this one here. Maybe it's a little deeper, but we'll try it out. So I'm going to take that same E40 brush and just start out with this. So I'm just windshield wipering this back and forth in my crease, just trying to lay that transition shade down. And now to go in with some of the more exciting colors, I think I'm going to stick to kind of this side of the palette over here, because this is really giving me the Anastasia Modern Renaissance vibes, and I don't have that palette, and I've been thinking about buying it, but now that I have this, I think I can kind of get a similar look out of this palette as you can from the Anastasia. So I think I'm going to take like some of these deeper colors here first, just to kind of define the crease and make it a little bit more dramatic. So I think I'll start out with this one. This one looks the safest to kind of start out, and I'm using this on my Sigma E25, just on the outer V and in the crease. And I just looked on the back where it says the names of all the colors, and this one is called Pukey, and that is perfect because this kind of has the poopy brown shade. There's a few like matte colors and some other brands that make this like really warm toned brownie shade, which when you look at it looks kind of disgusting, but on the eyes, especially lighter colored eyes, it just looks really beautiful and makes them pop. Okay, so now that Pukey's on there, I think I'm gonna go in with some of these redder toned ones, and I'm gonna pick up this color right here, which let's see what the name of that one is. Buns. We're gonna pick up Buns, I believe. And using that same brush, just kind of deepen up the outer V and the crease again. So after adding that reddy shade, it's starting to look a little intense and messy, so I'm going to take that big fluffy brush that I started with and a little bit more of the transition shade and just go back in and try to blend everything out. And if you do this after like every step, it'll always turn out a lot more diffused. So every step or every few steps, I kind of go back in and try to blend everything together. Okay, and now for the showstopper, I think we're gonna go in with this deep burgundy color, which is called Jax. And this is just like such a beautiful cranberry matte shade, and I'm really excited to try it. This super gives Modern Renaissance vibes, so I'm just gonna take it on that outer V once again. And I think I'm gonna kind of concentrate this more on the outer V than I am on the crease to try to get the most color there. That cranberry shade is super beautiful, and then I'm just gonna go back in once again with a little bit of that first transition shade and then a little bit of that second Pukey colored, just to blend this out a little more and deepen up the crease even more. And then just to make this a little bit more dramatic and kind of amp it up a little bit more, I'm gonna go in with this super deep brown color right here in the palette and just take a tiny bit and concentrate that on the outer V as well. And now I'm just going back in with my fluffy brush and no additional product and just blending a ton more to make sure that this doesn't look jankety. Okay, and that's pretty good, I think, for the outer V. Now I want to go in and do something on the lids. So I think I'm going to do two shades and kind of try to create a gradient where it's lighter towards the inner corner and then a little bit more medium towards the outer corner. So I think we're gonna use some combination of these three. I think I'm gonna use this one towards the inner corner and this one in the middle. And I'm actually gonna take this with my finger because I feel like these shimmery shades, you tend to get better payoff when you just use your finger. So I'm gonna start out with the lighter one and just swirl my finger in there. And that's kind of how it looks. There's great color payoff when you swatch these. I was really impressed in the store. I'm just gonna start off and I'm gonna swipe that all the way from the inner corner over to where we have the darker shades. So that color was beautiful, and don't worry about any that we get down here. That's why I do my eye makeup first, so I can kind of wipe away any fallout. And I'm just gonna, once again, kind of blend that one in before we go in with the middle shade. So I'm gonna take a clean finger this time and grab this slightly darker pinky shade and just kind of dot this in the middle to kind of transition it out and create a little bit of a gradient. And you can also do this the opposite way, where you do this darker color all over and then do the lighter color on top for a pop. That kind of makes your eyes look a little bit more round. But today I'm going for the gradient effect, so I'm putting it dark, medium, and then light. Okay, and then I'm just going to blend out the crease a little bit. And then now that we have the shimmers on there, it kind of covered up some of that darkness in the inner corner. So I'm gonna go back in with my favorite shade, this dark plummy red color, and just kind of put some of that back on top to kind of deepen it back up. And then once again, just going to blend with this. I am not a makeup artist, I am not professional. This might look jankety to you, but it's gonna look a lot better with the rest of the makeup finished. And I think these colors are actually really beautiful. I love these shadows. I think they had great color payoff. They blended really easily. They weren't like chalky or difficult to blend, and they were dark. I didn't have to like keep going in with tons and tons of product to get like a dark color payoff. But personally, I just wouldn't do like a dramatic look like this that often. So I will probably stick to some of the like more neutral shades over here just for everyday use. But for like a party look or something exciting, it works really well. This is a beautiful palette. Okay, and that's it for the look so far. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the camera and finish the rest of my makeup, and then once I do that, we'll add some eyeshadow on the bottom lash line to kind of tie the whole look together. So I finished up the rest of my makeup, and now I'm just going to finish my bottom lash line, and I'm gonna take my small little shader brush here and pick up this pinky shade that we used on the inner corner. And I'm just going to use this to highlight right here, first of all. And then I'm also gonna take just a little bit of that right under the brow bone to highlight there. And then I'm gonna go in with a little pencil brush and make sure that this is clean. Okay, that one's not the cleanest. Maybe I'll take this other small little shader brush. And I'm going to use this and some of those like deeper reddy shades on the bottom lash line. So I think I'm actually gonna start with this shade right here because I really liked this poopy warm brown shade, just to kind of get the lash line going. And I'm going to blend everything out with this. So I'm starting out with that on both sides. And then to tie it in together with that reddy shade, I'm going to go in with this beautiful reddy shade that we used on the outer corner. And picking up just a little bit of that, I'm going to concentrate this on the outer third of my eye. So now I have this darker reddy shade on the outer third, that warm brown on the middle third, and that light pink on the inner third. Since that brush is dirty, I'm just going to take a bigger clean brush here just to blend it in. Now that everything's kind of blended out, I'm just going to go in with some bottom lash mascara. And that's the eye look basically finished, so I'm just going to come in a little closer now so that hopefully you can see the colors up close and see how it turned out and see the color payoff of this palette. I think it came out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. I really like these reddy tones. I think this definitely gives an Anastasia, Beverly Hills, modern Renaissance vibe, and personally I just went for loads of mascara today, not any winged liner or anything, but this kind of dramatic look would look great with winged liner and fake lashes as well. That's just a little too much for me today, so I just went with mascara. But I think this came out super beautiful. I'm really impressed with these shadows. I'm not sure how they're gonna wear, but I did use my favorite primer underneath, so they should be pretty good, and they're not creasing yet. And I've been working on my makeup for a while, so far so good. Alright guys, that's it for my first impression and initial review of the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I really love these shadows. First of all, we'll talk about color payoff. I think the color payoff was beautiful. It's not too intense where you barely dab your brush in there and then it's a hot mess on your eyes, but it's intense enough that you don't have to keep going back and back with the color to build it up. It gives a really nice payoff. I think the blendability was on point. I think it was super easy to blend. I did a slightly more dramatic look today and I just kept going back blending and everything kind of blended out evenly. There wasn't any intense like patchiness or streakiness with the shadows, and even the shimmers had a pretty good color payoff. I'm really impressed with both the two shimmers that I tried. I think they're highlighting very well and I'm just overall super impressed. I'm super glad that this wasn't disappointing because I just love Jaclyn, but I had never used Morphe products before, so I was worried. But this I would definitely recommend. If all their Morphe eyeshadows are like this, then the quality for the price I think is great. it's kind of hard to find something cheaper that gives you this many eyeshadow colors. So I also am really excited to try some more looks with this palette just because there's like endless possibilities with all these colors. I mean, I kind of stuck to this side today, but this would probably be my more everyday shades. And if I wanted to do like a fun, more summery look, maybe try out some of these brighter shades. But overall, I'm very happy with this. I'm glad I purchased it. If you're a big Jaclyn Hill fan, I would definitely check out this palette. If not, Morphe has tons of other palettes that you can try out, and hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this look. As always, I'm uploading 2 days a week at the moment on Monday and Thursday, so please subscribe if you haven't so that you don't miss my next video, and thank you so much for watching.